MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And surprise, surprise, it's Wednesday and we are back with light rain this morning.
It is. Roads are slick, so be careful.
54 this morning. We'll get a high in the 60s as we begin this. But boy, we got a wet day. And then tomorrow, possibility of some severe weather in our area.
Don't want that.
We don't, but it's a coming, as they say. And let's take a look at this. Of a couple of things is going on, so you will know exactly what to expect tomorrow. Let's start out with what the National Weather Service tells us, and then we'll move on and look at it on a more local level of what we've got. Now, tomorrow, heavy rains. Let's pull this up. This is National Weather Service, what they tell us. Heavy rains up to 2 to 4 inches. That's a lot. That will float your little flower bed right away. Yes. So now, keep in mind, with this always comes wind, so go ahead and put up your garbage cans and anything that is light that can be blown around. That's going to happen tomorrow. Now, we get into this on Thursday night, severe storms. They move this up. It was to the south of us, now includes Meridian, Philadelphia, most of all of Kemper County, and a large portion of getting into the Macon area. This is a little old. The National Weather Service put this out at 3 a.m. this morning. My radar has updated it, and it goes up to about Noxapater. We'll look at my radar here in just a moment. Get that a little bit for you. Now, tomorrow this is going to begin 10 a.m. until 8 p.m., the threat of severe weather. Now, here's the next question about ice tomorrow night. On Thursday, not expected for the Meridian area. It's going to be in the northwest corner of Mississippi Delta, up around, let's say Tupelo, west of Tupelo. It's going to be over here near Greenwood, the Mississippi Delta, Tunica, those areas. Mm-hmm. Now, keep in mind, this is tomorrow. We're going to talk about Friday morning to where I want to watch everything. I always leave a window open for something being wrong. Flood watch for Alabama tomorrow. Y'all are just like us. We've also got the severe weather possibility there. You got Demopolis, these areas here through Selma. Now, as we look at what Alabama is already forecasting, this is Friday morning from 3 a.m. until 7 a.m. You'll notice that's the northwest corner of Alabama, which means could there be a tail that comes through here that just really hadn't been picked up on yet? It's a possibility always. This is Mother Nature we're dealing with, so please keep in mind this forecast is going to change. I'll get into it really deep today and throw myself into it to make sure that we're on top of all of this and to make sure there's no threat. But always know, as we learned when we were going to get a sprinkle of snow last time, what happened?
Oh, yeah.
5 inches.
Just always try to be prepared because, everything's, unpredictable.
Subject to change.
Sometimes.
With Mother Nature. Let's go to radar this morning and show you what we have and what we know. Here's radar, weather right here, this button. I have to make sure I get the right one. Now, we've got scattered showers all across the state. Let's turn off radar where you see what is coming. All of this pink area, that is a winter storm warning. This stretches all the way from Austin, Texas, across Dallas, Oklahoma City. Look at this. It's going to be huge up through here to New York.
I've never seen anything that
it's
large
humongous.
Of a scale over the United States. I mean, I haven't.
The Weather Channel has named the storm Landon, Landon. Winter Storm Landon is what this is being called. As you get a little bit closer here, portions of Mississippi, Arkansas, Shreveport is included in this winter storm advisory. That's an advisory. Something's going to happen. Now, as you zoom in a little bit closer, here's Little Rock, Arkansas. Here's Greenwood, Mississippi. See here, we do Greenville, right up to Greenwood in that. Right here is another color change that we look at. That's a winter storm watch. That means conditions are favorable. And this is the Tunica area. Let's just zoom in here so you can see here. Here's Tupelo. Here's Mississippi State. And here's Meridian. That's really not that far in between there as you look.
I mean, this stuff would have to just completely just rise to the north to miss
and
us.
That's what they've got is it moving just like this. But what happens if it were to move
a little bit?
Just the wind blow it down, and that would get us. Now, this is the big one. You see this purple? What does that mean? We're just going to call that Mr. Nasty is what that is. As you look in that, what does radar tell us that is? Ice storm warning. And when you get into ice storm warnings, you cannot drive in this. It's going to have power trees down everywhere. So if you've got friends, neighbors that live anywhere from Memphis, now let's zoom in on this Mississippi. This is Mississippi, Olive Branch, Horn Lake, Hernando, all of this area here, including Tunica, has a ice warning. You don't want to be here on Friday morning.
Goodness.
Horrible. And this stretches all the way up here through Paducah. It's going to cut across here as Evansville, Indiana, Louisville, Kentucky, where all the horses are, all the way over to Lexington. Those areas are going to get ice, and it's going to be major power outages. So expect that north of us. Now, as I said, as this comes across, they're saying right here Friday morning, is that tail will move right across there from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. Not that far.
Yeah.
So I just urge you always to keep a weather eye out. It is not predicted, but it is Mother Nature. So we sit back and we'll be on top of this and alert you should any changes happen. And all that lime green, ugly color was a flood watch there for Alabama.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that you'll know all that.
Somebody said Clarksdale. Was it in Clarksdale?
Yeah, up here in the Mississippi Delta.
Okay.
Now, let's talk about what's going on right now, because it's some wet stuff out there. It ain't bad. Listen to me in my proper English. It ain't bad, no matter where you're watching from. I can't help but say it. We go back to radar. This is Lauderdale County, where you are right now, or maybe up here in Kemper County. This is Highway 45. A little bit of showers there going up by the Cowboy Church. Nothing heavy. Light stuff down here to the Hattiesburg, Jackson area, all of that. And the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Nothing bad. We got a few thunderstorms here over by New Orleans. But what does this tell us today? It's an 80% chance of just light rain all day. Makes streets slick, makes your car slide around, and the tail end of your car can sometimes pass the front.
Yeah, it can in a hurry. Spinning around. Just take your umbrella. Don't be like me and walk out without it.
Yeah. So
I have the first umbrella in my car.
You don't?
No, I just have to run for it.
You don't try the, you don't keep a garbage bag there? That was the old thing.
I don't.
Did I show you the snow that's already falling? Look at this. This is massive. It is right. Since we're just talking about weather, look at that. This is Topeka. That's Kansas City. It's coming on down. Winter storm warning for those folks. Springfield, Ohio. All of that snow. Winter is not over at all for us.
No. And the groundhog this morning, we talk about him in a minute.
So
did he or did he not?
He did. He did.
Yeah, he did. I got my son up really early this morning because he was asking me about Puxatawny?
Puxatawny
Field. He was asking me about him, so I thought he'd like to see it, So we sat there and watched him get him out of his little den or whatever you want to call it, And they pulled him. The only thing I don't like is you can't see if he sees his shadow or he doesn't see his shadow. They just read it. The guy sits there and he acts like he's interpreting what what he says or something, like he's talking to him or something.
Yeah.
And then he says, he says that they read this little scroll, 6 more weeks of winter.
There's no way that they can tell if he sees a shadow of all those lights that are on him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion there. But we'll see. I think we're going to get some of that.
But 6 more weeks.
Now, as you look at all of this, I was going back over here and looking at, they had asked about Clarksdale. I want to show this up here. I didn't pull that up I meant to, and I got off track. But let's take a look here. That button there where it clears it up. Here's Clarksdale. Right now, Clarksdale has a winter storm watch out. This is it right here. This right below there is a winter storm advisory, and right there, ice storm warning. Only about, let's just check that. It is 15 miles from there, from Clarksdale to where the ice storm warning is in that direction. So, pretty serious. If you were planning to go to Clarksdale, I'd be hesitant. Is that the word to put it?
Yeah.
If I lived in there, I'd be dragging me some firewood in.
That's right.
Get
your gas filled up.
Woo, boy.
Rabbit field.
Now, we got a lot of things that have gone on overnight we want to tell you about in the Meridian area. But first, I want to bring this up. I mentioned this earlier. This is beyond, and I posted it also if you want to read the entire story, of the principal that has been arrested on Monday in the state of Mississippi for, the way they word it is a connection with a camera that was put into a girl's locker room at school.
Yeah, why would you do that?
And a lot of people were saying perv, and well, yeah.
I mean, a locker room. What goes on in a locker room? You're going to change clothes.
Yeah.
There could be restrooms in there. I don't know. So why would you put?
And you know, here's the guy here, just so that you can see a picture of him, right there. That's the principal there. He's been arrested. We'll see what becomes of this. Former school administrator. He was arrested on Monday afternoon. He allegedly, and again, we say allegedly, we put that in there, planted a hidden camera in the girls' basketball locker room. According to his name is Keith Aycock. He was the principal at Bayou Academy, and none of the rest of his stuff is available there, but charges of attempted child exploitation has been charged. Bond set at $150,000.
I mean, I wonder if he gave any kind of a reason as to why he did that. I mean,
good question.
Put one outside the door of the girls' locker room to see who's going in and out. You know, make sure there's no guys going in there. I could see that, maybe.
Yeah, travel in a hallway.
Right.
Not inside.
No, not inside.
This was Cleveland, Mississippi is where that happened. And details will come out on this as this moves along. Usually that first day you get just a sample of what really went on, and then we'll get the full thing coming out before long. So be prepared to learn more about that. That's pretty strong language to do that here in the state of Mississippi.
Oh, goodness. Cheryl Rainey said that she asked about Clarksdale because her granddaughter Lauren lives there.
Yeah.
And they're expecting their first baby any day.
Uh-oh.
Goodness.
Cheryl, you need to go on and...
go get her and bring her down here.
And it depending upon where y'all were going to have the baby. Well, congratulations, Cheryl.
Yes, that's so exciting.
So Ken's going to be a granddaddy again, or that would be great, right? Yeah, her granddaughter, so that would make great. Ken, we got to have us a talk here.
I don't think it'd be great.
Well, it's her granddaughter having a child, so the child would be his great, wouldn't it? Isn't that the way that works?
I'm not sure.
If you have a granddaughter, you have a granddaughter and they have a child, that makes that child your great. You with me?
No, it'd be the great. If you have a granddaughter.
Okay, all right. It wasn't a great grandchild. Yeah, it'd be. Okay,
if it was your great granddaughter having a baby.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Anyway, just great.
But I'm not sure. Cheryl, do y'all have a great yet?
I don't think. Not yet.
I done got all my grapes mixed up here, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
That is so exciting, though. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, is that not Bo and I mean, is that not JJ and Bo's daughter? I think that is. Harala. Anyway. Yeah. I'll have to. Exciting! It's so exciting. Yeah.
Big deal there for you. And we'll have to have a name. What the name is fixing to be there. And let me say this as we bring that up: name your child something good. Don't give them names where you look at the piece of paper and you go, I don't know how to say that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They're out there. And what happened to the name Fred? Nobody ever gets named Fred anymore.
Fred. I don't know. Old names are coming back, though. You know, they are. Like Jack and, stuff like that. I love names like that.
Yeah.
I do. I think they're neat. My grandmother's name was Vera. And I really wanted, it was Vera Ethel, and I really wanted my daughter, if she had a little girl, name her Vera Kate or Vera, I love
so
that.
You
it's pretty.
Don't look Ethel? So are you named after your grandmother and I didn't know it?
No, my name's not Ethel, but
Come on,
I am supposedly Nanette is my middle name. So that's named after somebody in the family, I think, a great something. So
yeah, you really don't hear Ethel anymore. That has become a name of the past.
Ethel.
Well, there you go. A little update on it.
She wasn't my great grandmother, but she was a great.
Quit with this great. Now I done got confused over here. As we talk about our friends, we got some new things coming up. Let me find this. I'm going to show some pictures.
Meredith James is what they're going to name the
Meredith
baby.
James?
I love that. That is beautiful.
That is a pretty name. Let me see here. Let me walk over here and grab this. I was going to show some new pictures here. Godwin Cleaning Services. They do a lot. And as I pull up some new pictures of what they've been doing, as we talk about how they clean homes, let me show you this here. This is it. This is a house before and after. Look at the roof, and even look at all of this, how that's all dingy. Look at the difference.
That looks like a totally different roof.
It is.
It really does.
Just made it look brand spanking new again. And the list goes on of pictures that we've got here. Look at the front of the house.
Goodness. Yeah.
Now, and this just kind of happens over time. You walk in every day and you're not paying attention to what your sidewalk looks like, and that can happen to you. And they can get you set up on a cleaning service to where it's once a quarter, maybe you want it more than that, or once a year, whatever the case is that fits your business, your home. Look at the sidewalks difference.
Yeah, we were just talking about the sidewalk issues yesterday.
Yeah.
About them having the dark spots on them.
That is so different looking as to what you can have done. Godwin does so much. And as we go down, let's look at a difference in Subway. You want to see this? Here we go. Here's a Subway on the top. That's after they've been cleaned. It looks bright and special again.
You know that feeling when you go outside and you see all this stuff that needs to be worked on, or that look, like they need to be cleaned, and you get so discouraged, like, how in the world am I going to fix that? Just give them a call. Have it done in a hurry.
They will do that. Exactly. You can give them a call. Here's the number here. Let me throw it up on the screen so you can see it there. 601-253-8262. They'll get your home looking bright, special, and all good again. Call them at Godwin Cleaning Service.
On June 30th, 2021, the FDA alerted the public that Philips recalled certain CPAP devices due to concerns regarding its polyester-based polyurethane sound abatement foam. This is a Class 1 recall, the most serious type of recall. Use of these devices may cause serious injuries or death. If you're diagnosed with long-term, permanent, and life-threatening health complications, your illness may be linked to your use of a Philips breathing device, and you may be entitled to compensation. Call Richard Swartz & Associates for a case evaluation today.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. Already, 15, 16 minutes into the hour of 8 o'clock. By now, I'd gone down to get me another cup of coffee, and I started heard my phone dinging, and then I got a phone call that said, hey, you need to go back to your studio. And I came up and found out we had a shooting in Meridian. Very serious matter. This was near Meridian High School yesterday afternoon. 2300 block of 24th Avenue is where the shooting took place. A 17-year-old kid was shot. Now, what we learned in the beginning, and I watched a bunch of videos of people that were there on the scene, this young man was shot multiple times. At first, I thought it was one single shot, but that's not the case. Several places over his body, I think in the leg, grazed his head to some degree. Originally it was reported that he was shot in the head. He was nicked in some shape, form, and then I think possibly, don't hold me to this, but I think one shot to the back. He was taken to the hospital, and then he was life flighted to Jackson, Mississippi. I have not heard conditions, nothing that is concrete about his condition. We do pray for him, his family.
Yes.
Hope he is doing better. Horrible, horrible.
It is horrible. I mean, this was near
Meridian High School.
Okay.
Yeah, real close to that. And I should have pulled up a map in relation to show you.
What? Just the other day we had two people follow a kid into the school at another school, right?
Yeah, it was a fight down there at Carver as we looked at that. You never know. But this was not actually on the grounds of the school. I want to be sure.
Right, just near.
Yeah, within a few blocks
at the time
of
that people were in school.
But they did make an arrest shortly after. He just kind of strolled on off after he done it. And here's the young man's picture that done it. 19 years old. Now, that's not old at all. Here he is. Little Roderick Smith, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, is his name. He's been arrested by the Meridian Police Department, taken into custody. This actually did happen about 12:40 yesterday. He's been charged with aggravated assault. Bond is set at $250,000. And as always, I want to remind you, this is an ongoing investigation, so there could be more charges that come with this. But we do not need things like this happening in Meridian, Mississippi, iota, one way or the other.
No.
Did they know each other? I know that they did. Do I know what they were talking about? I do not. I only hear backroom talk. We don't know actually what happened. More will come out of this. I know the young man, I was told over and over of people that were on the scene was, please don't let anything happen to me as they loaded him to the ambulance. It's heart-touching. I feel for him, his family. You know that they're scared right now.
Yeah, I mean, that is scary, and we hear about it all too often. The other day I was looking at a poll that or I don't know if it was a poll, it was a thing that they were putting out numbers, and they said that there were 15 cities across the United States that had broken the homicide records for the year of 2021, and Jackson, Mississippi was named as one of them. And so, I mean, that's really a bad thing right there, you know, to have your capital city named as one of the ones that broke the homicide record. But like I said, we see this way too often now, the shootings every day, and you know, involving 19 years old.
Yeah.
That's just getting your life started, you know, and you're already got a rap sheet going.
Horrible.
So.
Now, and I mentioned this earlier on the 6:30 broadcast as we were talking about things that happened in the community. There was a little car fire yesterday in Meridian. And I didn't check with Eastgate. I should have let them go out and do me a live report as it was happening there. But a car caught on fire right next to Eastgate by Family Dollar there by the before you get to the four-way stop. The volunteer fire department come on out and they took care of it. Thank goodness. Now, other things that went on behind the scenes yesterday. We brought this up. Anderson's Hospital and everybody that was affected by these crimes that hit Collinsville Sunday night into Monday morning, I think, is when it happened. All right, we had a car stolen from Anderson's Hospital right around midnight. 12:13 is when it exited the parking garage. Soon after, cameras started picking up people getting the car broke into, and then another truck would be broken into and stolen in Collinsville and West Lauderdale Road. The young lady that owned the car that was stolen at Anderson's Hospital, and I got messages from other people who said my car was also broken into. Her driver's license, she had just left her identification in her car, was found in a yard north of Lake Ross Collins, in somebody's yard. So that tied her car into being out there. Well, our Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department, boy, we've got a bunch of great deputies. We do. Ward Calhoun and a bunch got on the job yesterday morning. They got some tips that said we might know where the car is. Sure enough, they tracked it down. They found the car, and not only did they find the car that was stolen from Anderson's, but they found the truck that was stolen from Collinsville all at the same place. Now, I have not spoken to Ward this morning to see about the arrest and name of who, what, or how at this point. But all of this ties together. Deputies, I'm telling you, they work hard to make sure that you're safe.
They do.
And as they've been asking everybody in that community to go back, check your cameras, timeline, maybe it will help them put more charges onto people that they catch. That's why these things are so important. But they worked hard. And this is the car that was found here. I do not know the condition. I hope the car is okay.
Yeah, you would hope.
You know, and a lot of times people feel kind of funny about this. After someone has stolen their car, they go, I don't want that no more.
I mean, yeah, I could understand that.
But when you've got a car that's paid for, you go, I got to live with that.
Yeah.
But that did happen. This happens in our community a lot. Now, her car was locked.
So, yeah, you wonder how they get in them.
Yeah.
Other than busting out a window or something. I mean,
yes, there is a school for criminals that teach these people how to hotwire cars. You've seen it in the movies. That exists in Meridian, Mississippi also.
Yeah.
So crime is not over. This is not our last. We're just barely now February. There is more to come. So we want you to be prepared for what happens around your home. Slap some cameras up this week. Shave a little bit out of your budget if you don't have any, and save a couple months to get you some cameras up.
Yeah. I was just discussing last night about putting a gate up at the end of the driveway, you know, too. Wouldn't hurt.
Scott was talking about YouTube, and I must have missed something. I just caught that there. Let's see here. Also, all right, another thing that happened, I was just glancing over some of the comments there. There was a fight last night in Meridian, Mississippi, a squabble, as you might say. And let me pull this up and show you this also. Sometimes my graphics, I'm really good at them, and sometimes, well, I don't always hit the mark. But this is what I meant by this as we put this up. There was a fight, Church Avenue. The police have come a-running. Well, they had fought so much that somebody whooped out a knife, and two of them were stabbed and taken to the hospital. So they cut each other pretty bad, from what I understand. Yeah. They were taken to the hospital. I don't know their condition this morning, but should there ever be a fight that you have to whoop out a knife? Really?
Yeah. Well, you kind of wonder about, maybe we need anger management in the communities.
Yeah, and let me say this also. I don't want anybody to think, I try not to overlook any crime that there is. If I'm told about it, I try to put it out there the way it happened. There is also white collar crime in our area. And what I mean by that, that means things that go on behind the scenes where you don't take a gun and go in and or beat somebody, but you do it with the stroke of an ink pen. Things of that nature. That stuff exists in America. It's just as bad as the guy that goes in and robs somebody. It's the same thing. It's just done in a different manner.
Yeah.
Should we get our hands on some of that? We'll share that with you also. The rest of it floats to the top first. The others are a little bit slicker. They've got you have to have a full investigation to catch people when they do things of that nature. But don't think we won't share it when it happens.
Right.
We will. We'll tell it the way it is, the best way that we know to get the word out there.
Yeah, we always want to give y'all insight as to what's going on in the community.
Now, there was also another boo-boo in Meridian last night, and I don't have full details yet, but whenever you lose a thumb, however you lose it, pretty serious there.
That is.
It happened to be
thumbs.
be removed by a gun. I think it was done accidental. We'll find out more about that today as we get a report on all of that also. So those are some of the things that went on in your community last night as you slept and got up. But I'm telling you, our sheriff's department was hard at it yesterday after those who try to take away from you that work hard. And the Meridian Police Department does too. Don't take me wrong. It's just sheriff's department was on that and they got it. I'm not running anybody down or taking any way. Our officers in all categories work hard. I stay in touch with Neshoba County a great deal, and also the Philadelphia Police Department. Hard-working folks.
Yeah.
And if your police department isn't connected with me yet, get in touch with me, because we like to know what happens in your community also. We'll set up a network where people in your community are aware of what's happening also.
I mean, yeah, because a lot of people help solve
Oh,
some
yeah.
of these crimes, you know. You see something, if you hear something, if you hear somebody talking about something, I mean, you know, sometimes that will help solve these crimes. Every little bit helps.
You'd be shocked of the good people that see and do come forward. Y'all would be shocked as to how many people out there. And there's so many of you that watch our show now and share this. And I say that when we post something that has happened, share it so other people can know about it.
Right.
That's the only way that news gets out there. Cindy Skipper tuning in from Sugar Lock this morning. Good morning to you, girl. Hope all is well there. I was glancing over. That was the big things, the weather and things, and of course, Punxsutawney Phil. And I just got a note that this hadn't been made public, but they had to scramble at the last minute. Milton Mail.
No.
This was a few days ago. This was a replacement that y'all watched a few minutes ago, Punxsutawney Phil. I got it right there. I don't know if you can see that, but the one that was supposed to do the forecasting passed away.
Well, you know, I thought that I was kind of concerned this morning when they went to get him out. They were sitting down there for quite last time I watched it, they picked him right on up, and, you know, and this time he was they were a long time sitting down there trying to, I guess, get him in their hands or something. I don't know.
Milton Mail, a groundhog who has for years offered his weather predictions on Groundhog Day, has died, his handlers say. They say Mail recently crossed over the Rainbow Bridge, and their scramble for a replacement rodent before February 2nd was fruitless. So they did get one to get him in time, but I thought his name was Phil all this time.
I did too. Punxsutawney.
Now I'm hurt.
Punxsutawney Phil.
I'm in shock. Phil isn't Phil.
You know.
Next thing you're going to tell me is men aren't men anymore, or women aren't women anymore. Go ahead and shock me, Candace.
You know. Nothing shocks me anymore, I don't think. Not much.
Oh, have mercy. There's all kinds of things in this world. Also, with all that went on yesterday, Meridian High School did go on a temporary lockdown until they put the situation. Your children were in good hands. They did do that. I saw this headline here. They said lockdowns and everything in the United States that they did. The economy, of course, we all know, was just destroyed when it come to the COVID thing. How many lives nationwide do they say were really saved by the lockdowns? Less than 0.2%. The lockdown.
It did not help.
No, is what they're saying. 0.02 is what lockdowns actually accomplished, is what they're saying. So the economy was.
Well, I could imagine that it would have been even higher for like suicide rates and stuff like that, because people, that were shut up in their homes and afraid, and so many people, even after they let the lockdown, let up on that, there were so many people who would not leave their homes. They were just afraid.
Yeah.
I
mean, this little fella here, he didn't leave his house until today?
Goodness.
But again, 6 more weeks of winter as we find out that Punxsutawney Phil may not really be Phil after all.
Oh, well, I'm glad they found a little groundhog.
Oh, yeah, absolutely with that. Don't go anywhere. Coming up, we're going to go back over a few things that happened on this date in history. Maybe you'll remember some of this stuff. And if we miss one of an event that happened on this date, let me know so we'll have it for next year as it comes about. Y'all stay close, and you might need some of this stuff from Sanders.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
As the days get warmer, the grass starts growing. Drop in and visit with Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 in Sicalina, where they've got a complete line of the #1 lawnmower in America, Skag. Whether you're a homeowner or a lawn care service, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower just for you. Plus, they carry X-Mark tractors and any part that you may need for your existing tractor or lawnmower. Drop in and see Cole or Buttermilk today. Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, 601-626-8759. They told me to wait to film all that stuff until they had swept, but I said, nobody will care. Drop in and visit them there. They'll help you out a whole bunch there. Scotty Ray and Candace, and welcome. We've got another 30 minutes of this. It ain't over just yet.
I know. Y'all can't get rid of us just yet.
Turn the TV a little bit louder, turn your phone up, be with us here. All right, let's look at a few things that happened on this day. We brought this old boy's name up a couple times, but it all began in 1887. That was Phil. I don't think that was the 1887 actual picture, but this is when it began. That's a long time ago. That little town has figured out a way to make a lot of cash off I don't even know what a groundhog really is. I don't.
Yeah, not sure.
I don't guess they're a mole.
No, they look like a beaver
in
the face, almost.
I know a lot of you still walk around singing, dang me, take a rope and hang me. King of the road. Yep, y'all remember that one there. Mm-hmm. Well, he was born on this date. 1936, Roger Miller was born. What a great guy he was, a great personality, and you can't help but sing along with King of the Road whenever you hear it. And that famous line where it opens up, trailers for sale or rent. Love it. Great stuff there. Also, these guys, I've met them many, many times. And it's so hard to pick one song that you say is their best. If I said you had a beautiful body, would you hold it against me? Well, that ranks way up there. A redneck girl got a name on the back of her belt. Oh, I like that. But then, I cross over and I start to remembering You Ain't Just Whistling Dixie. Ooh, I like that song. A lot of you like that crossover where they really began and became a national hit in all genres of music, if I said that correctly, Let Your Love Flow. Not my favorite Bellamy Brothers song because they had so many others there. But today, Howard Bellamy is celebrating his birthday. That'd be the one on the left. Okay. This is David on the right, and that's Howard there, the older one. They're brothers, and they stick together regardless.
I like their music.
Oh, yeah. Those are some of, boy, if I'd lie to you for your love. Y'all remember that? I'm a doctor. I'm an astronaut.
I'm sure
I'm a movie star. And then when you get into old hippie, he's just doing what he can. A lot of people like that.
I say this all the time.
Hippies?
I miss the old classic country music. Now, I've heard you had a T-shirt.
Yes. And I still got it.
Do you have it on today?
No.
You don't have it? I can't believe
you
didn't
T-shirt.
Wear it. I
have never been one of those
Scotty
guys that wore the
T-shirt
underneath this. But my life was changed forever in about I don't remember if that was 75, 76, but I saved up my allowance. I kid you not. I think it was $5. I went out and bought this. And bless her little heart, she was born on this date, Farrah Fawcett.
My brother had a poster in his room.
Oh, yeah, I had it too.
Yeah.
I really do think that poster is still on the back of my door at my mom and dad's house to this day.
Really?
I really think it is, because when I left,
you better get it and go roll it up, because make sure nothing happens to it.
Don't say that in front of the Bellamys. They'll go to rolling other things.
Goodness.
Whoops.
You better
Farrah
go get it
Fawcett,
and put it away because it probably is worth something.
this poster sold more than anything at the time. Bo Derek tried to give a little rival,
Yeah,
but it just wasn't the same.
I didn't like the braids and the beads. I like that. But,
She wasn't, as we say in the South, she wasn't as hot as Farrah.
yeah.
And Farrah
Farrah was
was
pretty.
it. 1957, I'll never forget the very first time I heard this. I was in my car working on something, and the song come on, and it goes, "Hello, yeah, this is me." Well, that sounds a little different. I perked up, and well, it was Ricky Van Shelton. And Ricky Van Shelton has a birthday today. Great guy,
Yes.
if you've never met old Ricky Van.
There's a lot of stars that have birthdays on this day.
Oh, it is.
I mean,
We've
it is.
got a bunch
Yeah.
of them to come.
Yeah.
Ricky Van, rocking years in a whole other way. But I also go back to him. If you've never heard this song, look this up because it is so much. Keep it between the lines. That song tells so much about life of keeping it between the lines as you're a little kid drawing to when you get older, doing
Yeah.
the right thing of keeping it between the lines. It really speaks to you.
I like the rocking chairs. And your rocking chairs, rocking
Rocking
babies,
babies.
rocking years. Yeah, that's the name of it.
That's good stuff there.
Yeah, it's good.
I'll leave this world loving you. Just goes on and on and on. 1959, you would, if you were there, it would be the last time that anyone would ever see him perform again on this earth. It was Buddy Holly's last performance. Little did he know what would come about, and just a little bit, this would be his last performance tonight. And then, of course, the plane crash that happened with the Big Bopper and a few others there. 1974, let's get into the 70s. This would only be her second time that she'd gone to number one. And it all happened because her husband spent too much time down at the bank making deposits. You know, you send your husband to the bank, go, hey, take
Yeah.
this down there. And what, he'd stay 45 minutes to an hour talking to the women's up in the bank. All because old girl was hot and he couldn't leave. Well, yeah, I sort of relate to him. But it made them millions from that experience, and most likely will be a movie before this is all said and done.
Jolene.
Boy, that's a great song.
It is a good song.
1974, that was number one. Now, there's been other people that have, sang this song. Miley Cyrus has done it,
Yeah.
and they all try. But there has never been anybody singing just like Dolly. Now, you got to give kudos to Whitney Houston, who did a fantastic job with "I'll Always Love You." That was a home run for her. But boy, her writing ability. You watch Three's Company. Y'all know who I'm talking about. John Ritter. He was in several others. But his dad passed away, and his dad was a huge star on his own. We lost Tex Ritter also in 1974 on this date. If it hadn't been for Tex, you'd have never known John. In case you didn't know who Tex Ritter was. There's a few of you that would have seen that go, oh, I don't know that guy. Who is he? Oh, he was famous. He done a bunch there back in his day, before my time.
John Ritter was so funny, though. His son. So funny.
Sometimes, and this is where I wish I had a button to put up and put warning across the screen, because sometimes there's things that's going to scare you that I'm going to show you. And this is about to scare you. So, you know how as a kid that you watch through your fingers when the scary part come up? This woman,
You're going to make a lot of,
this woman
a lot
ain't
of her
the,
fans.
I can't lie. This woman is not pretty. And if you're drinking coffee, you could spit it out. So be careful before I hit this button. Everybody want to look at the same
Kind
time?
of looks like Fauci's
Here she
sister.
comes.
Fauci's sister.
Whew. The way we were.
She kind of look like Fauci.
It's just, I got to turn
Maybe
that
a
off. I
sister.
can't look at her. 74, that was the number one song also on the other side there. I just, ooh,
The way we
boy.
were. The way we were, that song. I mean, it's a good song. I shouldn't.
It is. This young guy, I called him. I brought Craig Morgan to town. We had hot weather for weeks. Lined up the show, blocked the street off. I put a stage underneath it downtown by the train station. And what happens? Talking to Rob Seal, and Rob calls me, and Rob goes, hey, you do know that the temperature is dropping tonight. I've been so busy, and I did weather. I hadn't even looked at it. And he goes, you know it's just going to drop down to about 15? I said, do what? So Craig Morgan's getting ready to perform, and the guitar pickers are going, we got to have heat. We got to have some heaters on stage. Our fingers won't work. And we hired this guy. I called him, and I said, would you come do the show and open up for Craig Morgan? He goes, sure. And what a talent this guy is. Now, a lot of you will go, he was a one-hit wonder. He's still a great performer to this day. He had a song called My High School. How do you get that lonely? About a kid that commits suicide. And I'm talking about Blaine Larson. He celebrates a birthday today. He was born in 86. Go back and listen to this album. He is a true talent that was never discovered after that. Liked him a whole bunch. Real nice kid. Let's see. 92. Remember the first, Ken Rainey, and if Ken is watching, introduced me to this man. It was 19, when was this? It would have been maybe 88, 89. Doug Stone come to town. Ken took me backstage and said, I want you to meet this guy. And he signed a dollar bill for me. I still got that somewhere. Doug Stone was number one on this date with a jukebox with a country song.
And he passed away, right?
Not that I know of.
Did he? Are you sure? I thought he did. I'm sorry. I thought he did. I thought he had heart issues or something.
Hey, I know he had heart issues.
Okay, but I don't know. I thought he did. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I haven't I
don't know. Let's see here. Let's see here. Doug Stone. Let me see if I can get it on my phone here. Candace put you in a grave is all I got to tell you.
I'm sorry, Doug, if you still rank me. I'm sorry.
Let's see here. I'm trying to find his Wikipedia, however you say that word.
Somebody said Whitney sang I Will Always Love You, but Dolly spoke it to you. And that's true. So.
No, they're saying he's pretty much still kicking today.
Okay, good. I'm glad Doug's still alive.
Yeah. He says he does vocals, and he's still singing.
I don't know why I thought he had passed away. There was somebody who had heart issues around the same time he did that passed away.
Let me just go ahead and say this.
That was a country music.
I spent a lot of time with him. Chain smoker is not the word for this guy. And he had a lot of heart complications, but boy, it was one after the other.
Huh. I do like his music, though.
Don't make Candace mad or she'll put you in a grave early. 1992, a few months later, Willie would come to an agreement with the IRS. He owed $16.7 million, and Willie goes, wait a minute, I don't know anything about all this. Well, his people that handled his finances did, and they didn't pay his taxes. He settled for $9 million. Nowadays, you can burn buildings, and they go, don't worry about it. Willie should have held on a little longer, but he did pay him $9 million. And that's a little trip down memory lane of a few things that happened on this day. Did you learn anything?
Yeah, I did.
I'm
glad I learned that Doug Stone's still alive. Thank goodness.
Oh, have mercy. So I hope everybody's doing good there. 65 and still alive. Doug Stone there, as
right.
Debbie Moles puts there.
I'm glad.
Do you know how weird that sounds to say Doug Stone is 65? When I could, that's also one of those songs to where the first time you heard those words, I said the night you left me, Doug Stone, I'd be better off in a pine box.
Yeah.
Golly, what a song.
It is a good song. Really good song.
Let's just say you need to make up to somebody and you said they were dead and you needed to make sure that they were happy and make up for it.
Or they cooked something and you said you didn't like it.
Send them something. that must have happened. Now we know what's wrong with her
After
today.
you spent hours.
Just saying it could be somebody else.
Yeah, it could be. I don't
Honeysuckle's Floral Boutique is there to help you out, to make up, do whatever you need to do. They're located on North Hill Street. We got Valentine's Day just right around the corner. If you want to say you're special in some kind of a way, well, the girls can do it. They've got this little bitty van that they've got that delivers it to your house. Got their name on the side and all. It's parked out front. Whether it's roses that you want to send, carnations, and they got a bunch of other things, arrangements that your sweetheart may like. Order early. Make sure that they've got it for you. 453-3055 is the number to Honeysuckles. We all like honeysuckles. They're sweet. Smells good, doesn't it?
That's right. If you're looking for a little something different in an arrangement, give them a call because they can do it.
Yeah.
They can really make some pretty arrangements, yes.
And as you said there, they've got pine cones as well. See, that's different. They're beautiful flowers. Talk to them today about wedding events and planning yours to have it that special day, just perfect for you and your family day. If you've got someone that's passed away that you want to go, hey, I'm thinking of you, they handle that also. And, of course, they have floral arrangements for anybody's, what's the word I'm looking for here? The spray that goes on top.
Right, the spray on the top of the casket or the stands.
Yeah.
If you just want a green plant that somebody can keep for a long time.
They do all of this for you here at Honeysuckles. And all the little gift ideas and things there. If you need a flower plant to send to the hospital, somebody to get better, yep, they've got that for you. Just a quick glimpse of what you'll find inside Honeysuckles. See them today, again, 2626 North Hills Street, Suite B, 453-3055. And they will be open on Super Bowl Sunday. Take care of you.
I'm Michelle from Oxford, Mississippi, and it took one call, and that was all. I called my Mississippi attorney, Richard Schwartz, and he got me $287,500.
If you need me, Mississippi, remember, one call, that's all.
Rockhouse Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rockhouse will have the gun that you need, with a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rockhouse Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian. Now, everybody was kind of upset yesterday that ABC had not taken a stance against Whoopi. It would take staff complaining, going, well, you've done this to other people, how come you're not doing anything? Late yesterday afternoon, they finally announced that they had decided to suspend Whoopi Goldberg for 2 weeks from The View. So you get a little break not to listen to the bickering from her for about 2 weeks.
I think she should be gone, but, I don't know.
Did you realize what she made a week?
Huh?
Do you realize what she makes a week just sitting there running people down?
Yeah.
$96,000 a week.
Well, they're all, pretty much like that. It said that they were all furious about it. I'd hate for them to all to get out.
Oh, it'd be horrible.
It'd be
Yeah.
awful.
But they're not because, yeah, they make $96,000 a week.
It just ruined my day. I don't know what I would do if I didn't.
You get into Megyn Kelly and people like that, that's probably chump change.
Yeah.
But it ain't bad for a week's work. $96,000 a week. I'd like to sit down and put a calculator to that per hour of what you make.
Yeah, that must be nice.
I'm not in that category. I'm working on it, though. Hey, the first person for Joe Rogan, who is the podcast guy that has a morning show similar to this, and he has guests, has stood up for Joe Rogan where everybody else has been running him down. We have to go kudos to Dwayne Johnson for going, hey, he ain't done anything wrong. Y'all leave him alone.
Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson has his back. The first one, Neil Young on the other side of the fence, of course. So there to go. I like him. Bill Cosby, which is known as America's Creep now, is asking the Supreme Court to drop the charges and not hear them. They're trying to revive the case against him, and he is asking the Supreme Court to make sure that that goes away. He's 84 now. Creepy 84. We'll find out later in the week.
He lived a number of years getting away with what he did.
Absolutely. It's amazing what money can hide until you make the wrong person mad. And that's what that all was about. Everybody in Hollywood knew this. Every dang one of them. But it reached a point to where he made the wrong person mad and, well, they turned. They forgot that code. What's it called? Oh, yeah, honor among thieves. They let that go to the wayside there. Other things going on across this morning. A family has asked how this can even happen. But a family in Kansas has a family member that went and joined ISIS. How could you do that? They went to a judge and jury and asked them to where she can never contact them again. They want it outlawed. They don't want her back in the family. They have basically thrown her out. As they say in the South.
That would kind of make you uneasy. Because it says that she went and joined ISIS and she led an all-female battalion armed with AK-47 rifles in Syria. So is that somebody you want calling you on the weekend?
As we do in the South, you are removed from the family. That has been done. You can legally do that, too. That's not just an old saying there.
Yeah.
We go to New York next, and as we look, the police department salutes another man in blue that gave his life. The second gentleman that died that was murdered there, the second cop, as they salute as his coffin passes. We keep his family as well in thoughts and prayers there. They're above.
I'm glad that they did two separate ceremonies. I think that was
because
a good
each
idea.
life,
right? That they could give them all the attention for that one person on each day. I just think that was a good thing.
We go to our next word, tragedy. I don't know how else to word this. Sometimes maybe it's best to stay alone. Maybe it's going to happen no matter where you are. But a mother of 5, I believe she had 5 kids. Yeah, she had 5 kids. She went out to celebrate her 30th birthday. They don't get into details of what exactly was going on the party bus, but one can only assume. But she fell off the bus and she has lost her life. Now there's 5 children without a mother. That was in L.A. She was hit by a car as she fell out. And horrible.
Awful.
Sometimes partying is not the best thing
She
to
had
do.
young kids. They weren't
Yeah.
older kids. They were young kids.
Very, very young there. Let's see here. I thought about this, and I wasn't going to bring it up, but I'm going to go out on this. Now, let me show the picture of this. This is a dad, and I take it as a prank. Mm-hmm. At first, when I saw the headline, I thought, these people, they just won't stop. But this is a guy, the mom had gone away for something. The baby was cranky, little bitty one there, and he's trying to figure out how to feed the baby and make it behave. So he prints out a picture of the mom, holds it over his face, and he took, I guess, sewing stuff and sewed a bottle to his shirt so that the kid would think it was mama. And just a quick glimpse at that. Let's just take a look. There you go. Mm-hmm. I probably would never do that.
Yeah, I don't think you would. I don't think that's an idea that you'd think of.
I've had 2 kids, and no, I never did that with any of them. And they turned out pretty good. Mm-hmm. They've done all right without me doing that. Police are threatening to arrest the truckers in Canada. They need to leave those boys alone and help them out there. That's all going on in Canada. Is that situation gets a little bit slipperier as we get into that. Now, let's talk about this. Let's go over here. Joe. Let me find the story here. I got it somewhere. I know it from the top of my head, though. We talked the other day about the poll that came out that said that Joe could beat anybody that ran against him. And I said, watch where these surveys are taken. Mm-hmm. All propaganda to make you think that your person can't win. As they've done another survey, they have found out that even Joe would be beat by Hillary if those two were to have a runoff right now. Hillary would beat him. Here's the sad news for those that want Joe or that is that, Trump would still beat both of them.
Yeah. I mean, I think to come 2024 or even 2022, when we have some things going on, I think things are going to be a complete turnaround. I feel that. People are sick of the way things are going right now. I mean, they're sick of it. So
who's going to take over this slot? And here's the next headline to this. It says the White House is terrified that Biden's going to get COVID. They're scared to death, and that everything that he said about.
So hint. Do you think this?
He's scared. Yeah, they may be trying to ease him out. We don't know. But that's what's happening in Washington right now as we look at those headlines there. Trump has raised $122 million. He has also filed a legal response accusing the New York Attorney General, Miss James, of having a vendetta against him and his family. We'll see what happens with that. Mm-hmm. There's probably a little of that going on, I would think so. The most hated man in the media, I think, is what we'll call that.
Because a lot of this stuff was on hearsay. Like the article said, there was never any true evidence against anybody for anything.
The Republican National Committee is going to vote this week also about expelling Adam, and tell me if I'm pronouncing this name right, Kinzinger? Am I saying that right?
Kinzinger?
Yeah, and also Liz Cheney from the House GOP conference. Will she get thrown out? The rest of them are not real happy with her. We'll see where that goes. That's a few headlines from the Washington area this morning as things come about there in the great capital there. Let's talk about the farm supply. Boy, they always got a lot going on at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. Exit 151, they've been there since 32. They opened up this morning at 7:30. As I mentioned, if you are one of these working guys that need FR clothing, and that's fire-retardant clothing, they got a big supply of this. If you need jeans, there's nothing worse than having to, if you've ever worked in these industries, putting on coveralls that zip up over your clothes. Mm-hmm. You can't work good. Why not get the clothing that fits you, and then you're covered, and you're all legal-like on those job sites. Ariat, they've got the name brands including keeping yourself warm as more colder weather approaches with jeans, and, you've got them there for you. And, of course, all of the overalls that you may need. Keep yourself warm with a new hat. Keep it, as in my case, thinning places warm. Maybe you need work boots. They've got those. Also mud boots as well. All of this for the working man or woman right there at the Farm Supply. That's what they do, is take care of you. Deer Attractant says we wind down deer season. It is faded away, but you can still use these for your game cameras. Mm-hmm. Don't forget these game cameras work as, security in your yard. Put them up at the end of the driveway. They'll help you out there. As always, they've got anything when it comes to corn and feed, taking care of your horse, cattle, goats. Maybe you got chickens. Yeah.
Like Scotty Ray.
Yeah, I go down and get my chicken feed all the time from them there. See Steve, he'll help you out there. Horse and cattle feed, and always anything for your pet, along with guns and ammo. You'll find it at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. Drop in and visit with them today.
I'm Michelle from Oxford, Mississippi, and it took one call, and that was all. I called my Mississippi attorney, Ritter, and he got me $287,500.
If you need me, Mississippi, remember, one call, that's all.
The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built-in, or conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group. Bill Reinhardt looks like he's been breaking equipment up in the cab.
Yeah,
Hope you get all that put back together there.
Yeah, he had a little, I think, technical difficulties and had to replace an amp, I think.
Yeah, I've had those, and I seem to tear up things.
Yes. He'll be back in business tonight with Western Wednesday, he said.
Here we go.
Western
Omar,
Wednesday
you remember her? Mm-hmm. She's going to be rerunning there. Here's a picture of her there. Whoop, there she is. She's going to be rerunning for office once again. There's a lot of Democrats that aren't. She will. She's a part of that squad, if you're familiar with what I'm talking about. So there you go. She'll be back up in there. Do you remember the family that I brought up in Las Vegas? It was 9 people killed in a car wreck. Mm-hmm. It was 7 members of the same family in a minivan that were killed. And it turns out it was a career criminal. Yet again, we see that where judges and people have not done their job there. He was running at 100 miles an hour, ran through it, killed those poor people there. He was due in court for another speeding ticket to where he'd been speeding there. I don't know what the charges are when you... Mm-hmm. Is it manslaughter when you kill somebody in a car wreck? Is that what it is?
I think so.
That's just so bad. For what? Speed. What's that going to do for you?
Going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah. That shame. I think I got time to play this. Let me pull this over here and show you why road rage does not pay. Let me pause this. All right, I'm going to pull this up. Everybody's been driving along and somebody just in front of you.
Oh, yeah.
Let's cut to this over here and show you how this can turn out not so good for you. All right, as we watch here, these cars are coming along here. This would be a car coming from behind. It's coming.
Come on. Idiot.
All right.
Okay,
Here he goes.
What are you doing?
He's going to jump in front of everybody, pass on that edge, and then try to squeeze between that.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
That's what
nice.
can
Very
happen.
nice. Yeah, you suck. Yeah.
when you make the wrong decisions.
That's what you get.
I mean, that is so crazy. That is I'm just going to say it, a stupid decision. I mean, that was not good at all.
Road rage is what that is. And I was looking here at Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Have you ever eaten at a Golden Corral before?
Years ago, we had one here. They
sure did. This is what happens when people get everybody got mad over. You were
butted in line.
You know, it's the all-you-can-eat buffet, and he took the last one. The 5 or 10 people behind him got mad, and the fight broke out up in the Golden Corral. Where they used to be their spokesperson.
Oh my goodness!
I guess you ain't lived till you've been a fight down at the Golden Corral. Things like that actually happen across America.
Steak. I don't know. I guess it depends on how hungry I was, how much I wanted a steak.
And if you care, Simon Cowell, you know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. He's been in another bicycle accident, broke another arm or so.
Get Simon off the bikes. You know.
Yeah, the first one would have taught me, but he's had another one. We'd like to say thank you. Look at all these comments and people that have dropped by today. Mm-hmm. Y'all have been extremely good.
Yes, you have.
Now, we're going to be on top of things today, watching what goes in our area. Should crime break out, something happen that you need to know, we'll be posting it. Make sure you follow, check back several times, share when you can, let everybody know what's happening.
That's right. If you hear an incident or something we need to know about it, shoot us a message or whatever. But we hope y'all have a wonderful day. We'll see you back at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by